My name is Sarah Hoff, and my ID number is 5727. It is April 6th, and it is 1:07 p.m. I'm recording this video about first aid. The importance of first aid is that in a salon or spa is that we need to be able to protect ourselves and our clients, and accidents do happen. So we need to know the measures to take when things like choking or things like a chemical burn or a heat burn or electrical burn takes place. So common incidents that might call for the use of first aid, like I said, are choking. That's a very common thing, especially if somebody's, drinking water, for example, even, or they brought a snack. They could possibly choke because they were talking, or it's a common situation. And then another common situation is when somebody's bleeding or somebody gets a burn. Those are common situations. Bleeding is definitely one of them because anybody can bleed from if they touched a certain object, or if they fell, or we just need to take the measures. So with the bleeding, you would cover the wound and apply with pressure. And then what you never do is you'd never use a tourniquet unless the bleeding just doesn't stop and it's uncontrollable. You always need to be wearing gloves, and when the bleeding stops, you have to apply a Band-Aid. So it's cover the wound, elevate injured limb above heart, and then you apply the Band-Aid when the bleeding stops, and you never wear a tourniquet, never use one. And then the technique that should be used if a person is choking is the Heimlich maneuver. And with the Heimlich maneuver, you are supposed to see if they're talking first or if they can cough. That's very important. And then what you do is you wrap your arms around the victim, and you wrap them from behind and make a thumbless fist, and then you perform an upward thrust. And that should help, and if it doesn't, you always should call 911, honestly, because if what you did doesn't help, then they might need to seek medical attention above that. And then, how can one avoid the need for first aid? How can one avoid the need for first aid is if we take preventative measures, and we make sure that there's nothing that the client can trip on or fall on or touch that would hurt them. We need to make sure that we are using chemicals properly by doing patch tests and such like that. Electrical burns, we need to make sure we are using the equipment properly. That is it for this video. I will be sending the link for this. All right.